Hello, this is Stephen from owner Disown, and today we've got an extra special guest. His name is Kata Shashi, and he's based in France, and he's an expert on Surface Book, and we want to talk about that. It's our first series in Have You Say, where subscribers have their say about products and software and so forth. So, over to you, Katashi. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Yeah, so thank you for subscribing to my channel and talking to me on the Surface Book. I think we both agree it's an excellent computer. You're an artist and a gamer. Yep. And I use mine for gaming on the road because I travel a lot for work. So I use it for note taking as well. So perhaps we should start off by going through the specs and the pricing. Yeah, so in the US it's about $1,500 for the Surface Book, and I think that equates to about 1,300 euros in Europe. Do you find
Yeah,
it?
more likely to get down to 215 soon.
Do you find it's selling well in Europe?
Selling not bad. People are more likely to get the base model with the i5 as you got, and the i7 that I got with the 520 gigs of storage is more for artists and overkill guys.
Yes. Yeah, because it's I've got the base model, 128 gigabytes at i5, but you can get it all the way up to a terabyte of storage with an i7
Yeah.
processor in, eh?
Which is just completely overkill because the SSD in the 1 terabytes goes up to 2 gigs a second. I think this is more like for gamers and people who want the extra maximum speed they can get.
Well, I'd like to point out I have used my i5 to edit some of my videos, and it's done it flawlessly, to be fair. You know, sometimes with less stutter than my desktop, which I was rather surprised at. Let's look at some of the features. It has a detachable screen, which I think is very important for me sometimes taking notes. Do you use that often?
So for taking notes, this isn't bad. For not taking, I think the battery may need a little bit of extra juice because the things, even in not taking, goes down extremely fast. I used that on OneNote, but I think the processor still eats up too much battery.
I mean, in my tests, just streaming video, I was getting only about 8 hours left. That's on 50% brightness. What do you see in your tests? The maximum battery?
More like 7.5.
7.5. So you do get a bit of an impact with that i7, eh?
Yeah, but and this is where the fun begin. With a little bit of undervolting, the things actually get up and go for 8 hours.
Oh, yes. Tell us a bit more about undervolting. How do you do that?
So this is using a software from Intel called XTU, Extreme Tuning and Utility.
Okay.
And you can actually tune your CPU to eat a lot more juice than it actually get to it by default, and reduce the temperatures while saving some battery life.
Right.
And this is really important for me because as a speed painter or artist, as I work with the i7 model, the things is actually quite warm and not pleasantly warm to the touch. And the screen burned my hand quite literally
That's
in
incredible.
about 15 to 20 minutes of hard work. So I had to do that to prevent the i7 to hit the screen too much.
My goodness. And I mean, I remember I had a Surface Pro 4 where the screen got really hot, and I found that using the mouse and the mouse cursor would jump around quite a bit. Did you see any situations like that?
Integrated graphic performance, I actually did see some stutter. Just taking a Windows and sliding it all over the place, you can see the Windows freezing sometimes at one place and catching up some
The jumping around there.
milliseconds
That's
later.
strange. And you've got 16 gigabytes of RAM, so it's not a RAM issue.
Yeah, This is just integrated graphics that is just all over the place.
Well, it could be a case of it's throttling because of the heat.
Yeah,
Now,
no, the throttling is good. Even for the i7, I didn't see the throttling got really.
that's good. That's good. And what do you think of the connectivity options? The two USB ports. Do you wish there was an HDMI port, for instance? Would that help you?
HDMI is okay because you've got the display port, which is actually big deal for my career because you actually work on big screen, big monitors, and tracking device for Wacom Cintiqs, or even bigger, the enormous Wacom tablets with the pen and everything, 2K tablets. So DisplayPort is fine, but um, DisplayPort, why just only DisplayPort? Why not Thunderbolt? I mean, this is just with the Thunderbolt without the PCI Express standards. So why not Microsoft?
Perhaps Surface Book 2, that could be one of our wishes.
Yeah, because here is the thing: the and Apple MacBook, etc., do and say whatever you want, but those devices are pretty much future-proof because of their Thunderbolt interface. Nowadays, you can have external GPU that can be added, and the things quite can go and game quite well, actually.
Yes, yeah. No, I think it's a great computer. Now, do you find the resolution is a 3:2 ratio, so a 3000 by 2000 pixels? Do you find that good or what?
The 3 by 2 aspect ratio is not bad actually. I wasn't that much of a bugger for me, and as soon as I turned on the computer, I found it actually enjoyable to have all this extra space at the top and bottom of your screen because this is more likely to get to a A4, you know the sheet of paper, A4 format.
Yes, yes, it
This is
is.
closer to that. So for me, it's kind of a big deal. And now when I see some of my friends in my class get a screen 16 by 9 ratio, I get, wow, this is extra thin. This is too thin.
Too thin. Yes, yes. It gives you more real estate.
Yeah, the 3 by 2 aspect ratio kind of have me 100% on.
Yeah, I think as an artist that must help, and certainly for note taking, it does give you more space to write, which is
Yeah,
less scrolling.
absolutely.
Yeah, without a doubt. I do like the Windows Hello logging on feature. I wish more laptops saw that. What do you think?
Windows Hello is a great thing actually for me because I'm more the type of guy that like perfectly tuned hardware. But when it comes to getting the work done, I just want to open my computers and log in. No password, no
Yes.
lacking of time, etc. So Windows Hello is a great feature, but as I am a little bit of a perfectionist, I would like to see Microsoft included in their second generation Surface Book actually the complete generation of Real Sans Intel camera, which is
Yes.
a complete 3D scanner. Kind of a big deal because for some of my projects, having a 3D scanner integrated to the Surface Book can give you a lot of work done in pretty much no time.
I agree with you there. That would be pretty sweet. Yeah, yeah. Take note, Microsoft. So, okay, let's have a look. The weight of the tablet, it's light. It's just of about 3.3 pounds. It's still fairly small. The tablet itself weighs about 1.6 pounds. So for somebody on the go like myself, I find that it's very portable. And as a student, you find it fits in your bag well. It's good.
It's good, but it have me a little bit worried. Dynamic fulcrum hinge, I think.
Oh yes, yes.
I wasn't really sure that it could hold the stress amount of my backpack, which is stuffed with books and pencils, everything, some everything is really heavy sometimes. And sorry for the accents.
That's
But
okay.
so sometimes my bag gets a third of my body weight.
Wow.
So I was pleasantly surprised to find the dynamic fulcrum hinge to hold off those stress and abuse. Quite a surprise, actually.
Don't know much about the fulcrum hinge. I've got it here. It folds, which the benefit of it is that it makes the center of gravity more stable, doesn't it? It pushes it, I think, further back, so it's less likely to fall off your lap. So it's very stable on your lap, I find. It goes back about 130 degrees, so you can't push it all the way back, but it's adequate for most situations. And then, of course, you can take the screen off, eh?
For me, honestly, this opening angle is plenty because when you're on your desk and you work, the screen gets up to 90 degrees maximum. And if you are just a gigantus, completely a basketball player, 2 meters and above, you just push the screen 20 degrees more and you are completely fine.
Now, I know a lot of people complained about the gap in the screen here and dust getting in, but I've never got anything stuck in there, and it does protect, the screen doesn't touch the keys, and I think that's, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
So
this is actually pretty great because when you are kind of messy hands in my workflow, because I have to take graphic pencils and inks sometimes, when you touch the keyboard and somebody calls from you for you, and you say, "Oh, okay, you close the screen and here goes your ink on your computer." So this is kind of a big deal for me too, to have the keys not touching the keyboard, the screen.
yes, I agree with you there. That's pretty smart. Now the touchpad, they compare it to the Apple touchpads, and I think it's quite large. It measures 10.6 centimeters by 7 centimeters. It's smooth, and I get perfect tracking with it. I like that, and the clicking's good, eh?
The clicking is very enjoyable, but a little bit overkill sometimes because some of my friends who have MacBook Pros and things like Apple device, you can't really hear the clicks. With me, when I click, they all turn their head and say, "Oh, you just clicked."
That's true. It is a loud click.
Yeah. The only things that were a little bit of concern for me is that the low part of the trackpad click perfectly the top of the trackpad. You have to put a lot of force to actually get it to click, and sometimes I was feeling like Hulk trying to
break it.
something.
Like hit it with a hammer. That'll make it click.
Yeah, I was calling Thor and Smudgy.
I tell you one thing I do like about it. Often I stay in a lot of hotels for business, and the hotel internet is terrible. You may be staying high up, 6th floor or whatnot, and getting a good Wi-Fi signal is poor. I find that the Wi-Fi is good on this. What do you think?
That's true. That's true. Even all of my Android device, including my phones, tablets, and all the multimedia in my home, didn't get close enough to the Wi-Fi reception that my computer was able to put.
I think that's fantastic. That is great. Now let's look at the pen, because the pen is very interesting. It attaches to the computer by magnets. I think it's to the left-hand side, isn't it? I think. There it is. Yeah, there it is. It does come off, though. It does come off.
I think it actually attached a little bit lower, no?
Oh, there you are. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it feels quite secure, but it does come off. It will get knocked off.
Not easily. You really have to take the thing, and you actually will notice when it snap off of your screen. But maybe a little stronger magnet next time should be a great feature.
Yeah, in a way, I think I would prefer having a silo to put it in that attaches to the side. Just a little hole to slide it in.
Pen loops. Pen loops.
Loop, yeah.
I was a little bit worried that Microsoft released the pen loops because of just people complaining about magnet attachment. And Pen loops, I don't think they are
No?
great, because when you take it in perspective, when you want your pen, you just grab it and snatch it. With a pen loop, you actually have to take your pen and pull it away.
You could have a combination of both, though, couldn't
What?
you? You could have a pen loop for permanent storage, and when you're using it, regularly on the, you put it up.
Pen loop that is magnetic, that actually close magnetically, and when you take off the pen, the things give up and let go of the pen.
Okay, that's an idea. I hope Microsoft's watching this. They might get some good ideas. You should be one of their designers.
I hope too. It's my goal.
Now going back to the screen, I use this quite a lot in the car writing visit reports, and of course it's bright and sunny. It's a glossy display for sure, but at a height it's got a good brightness, and I can work outdoors in it fairly well. Yeah.
Really good brightness, a little bit blinding sometimes. 100% is kind of like the portal of God opening with all the lights and everything.
Sunglasses.
Last time I was in my class, somebody tell me, "Hey, your screen is a little bit dim, don't you think?" And I looked at him and say, "Well, yeah, why not? 100%, here we go." And I was just full of light. Everybody was looking at me, and I said, "Sorry." Sorry.
It is. In fact, I think you can get a suntan from the screen. Actually, I think it's that bright.
Yeah. You get also a little bit of backlight bleed on the edge of my device. I did see a little bit of backlight.
A little bit.
bleed.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed it so much, but yeah, you can do, particularly at higher brightness, I suppose. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Talking a bit about your usage, being an artist, how does it work for artists?
For an artist, this is a good device, but it's not as good as, for example, the Wacom device or an iPad Pro. Let me explain. When you actually flip the screen, put it down in clipboard mode, as they call it, this is a good configuration, but with the i7 overheating, this is one issue that was solved. One issue. Then the pen, actually, I'm not really proud of, because light touches on the screen, the pen wasn't registering it. So the magic of a good screen for painting and drawing, as I am quite frequently on paper, is when they react like paper. So you take your pen, you touch it, and this immediately leave a mark. And this, with the Surface Pen, I was not able to just do that. This was quite a little bit of a letdown, but in low strokes, low speed strokes, the Surface Book wasn't happy at all. The line were broken everywhere, getting, I don't know, like if you're trying to get a straight line and the thing drawing on the screen is actually like a stair.
Oh wow! Okay, that's not good.
I've done a little bit of test on the Photoshop application, and where you can actually see the damage of the line when you draw them slowly.
My goodness. So they need to do some updates on that one, don't they? Do you think that could be fixed with software patches?
I hope this will be fixed with software, but if this isn't, and I personally think it isn't a good drawing tablet. The iPad Pro and Wacom are just far more superior to that, as the term of tracking and pressure sensitivity work on that.
Yeah, because the Surface Pen's not a Wacom, is it?
No, it's Entrig, I think, that Microsoft bought the company. So Entrig is a good thing, actually. They could very well take the lead even from Wacom, but there I am a little bit disappointed.
Yes, yeah. I've always used Wacom. You know, they often been just self-powered, and I mean, this pen has to take a battery,
Yeah.
which is fine. But you know, the end of the pen here is an eraser, which is good. I find that handy.
Yeah, the eraser, they actually got that really right.
It feels like an eraser. Yeah, I agree with you. And it also acts as a button. So pressing it once brings up OneNote, but it's only the app of OneNote, which I don't find very useful. It's not the full-blown OneNote. I would rather have that open up the full desktop OneNote. Yeah, you know, I mean the app is it's top big.
The thing is actually another thing is that the buttons cannot be configured as you
Yes.
wish. So the top buttons are just for OneNote. Double click or hold, I don't remember, is Cortana, and that's it. That's about it. You can't really do shortcuts or everything else with the buttons. So maybe the things that will be the most appreciated, I think, appreciated, sorry, will be to lock the device with a code, a press and hold, I don't know. But since the pen is Bluetooth, you can't actually put it on your in your pocket, and when you leave your computer open, you go like just like a car, like click toot toot, and it locked.
Yes.
Maybe this should be a feature.
It's possible, yeah, but you got a Windows Hello there. Plus, also, if you lose your pen, someone finds it. You got the security aspects there, you know. So, you know, it's always that issue. Gaming. Now, you know, we picked this. It's available as just a integrated GPU, which, you know, it's just the base model, of course, or you can get the dedicated GPU in here, and I think that's you know, that's great for gaming. It holds its own. Yeah, low to medium settings. Now you've managed to increase performance on it, haven't you?
So as you did the video on overclocking, I did too, using MSI Afterburner, and I did witness the performance going higher. In 19 frames per second, I was able to crack one.
It's like 100. You get over 100 frames per second, though, eh?
Yeah, 103 and 5.
Well, that's yeah. You could well be the CPU. The i5 may be bottlenecking it a little bit, which I think may be the case. I noticed in my overclocking the temperatures were great, so and I reached the maximum in MSI Afterburner, no problem. I'm thinking of trying NVIDIA Inspector to take it even further if possible. I took a screenshot of my overclock. I managed to see the base clock is 954 megahertz. Doing the MSI Afterburner, I get it up to about 1089, and of course the boost went all up to 1128. So the memory I couldn't get all the way up to the end. I did manage to increase that quite a bit there, as you can see. But yeah, it's I think as a gamer, I think it makes sense. It didn't see an increase in performance on every game. Any serious problems with the Surface Book? I mean, you mentioned the heating. Anything else? I think the only problem I've experienced sometimes is it wouldn't start up.
Yeah, it has done to me that a lot of time, and I actually did understand that this is like a dual start, in the sense of you think you have completely shut down your computer, and you press the on and off buttons, but you get impatient, and sometimes you do a second press on it, and the computer completely go completely crazy, and it don't know if you want it to start or to stop, to remove all your it don't know anymore, and just crash the whole system, with Steam not opening up, graphic card getting messed so bad that it couldn't function anymore. Lot of little bugs, but they have been quite literally solved.
Yes.
by
I think a lot of
Microsoft.
the early bugs have been
So
solved, yeah, without a doubt.
the-
Yeah, we were wondering what we could do with the next edition of the Surface line, and it looks like they've just recently updated what they're going to do, releasing in later this month, I believe. Can you tell us a bit more?
so they actually released a new updated Surface Book with better graphic chips and I hope a better processor, boosted performance for battery life. They claim the Surface Book can get up and run for approximately 16 hours, but I think this is much more close to 12 hours. And they announced another product which is really interesting, the Surface Studio, which is a big screen with input for input reception for the pen. And the thing is made for artists and really big production lines of digital artists with the Surface dial, I think they call it, and it allows for quick changes directly on the screen of the big screen of the Surface
Yeah, it's a
Studio.
28-inch panel, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, tactile panel, and the Surface Gel work as well on the Surface Book, I saw.
It does look interesting. That one can be configured up to a 980M graphics card, so that is pretty sweet. It's expensive. I think it starts at $3,000.
Oh,
But that's with the 965M graphics card, and if you get it to 980M, I think it goes up to about 4,000.
yeah,
Which is
because
ridiculous,
4,000
really.
right. I think they actually improved the pen reception
Yes.
on the Surface Studio because they in the ad and they actually show an artist drawing and things calling for precision inputs. So I hope they fixed the wobble issue.
I think the most exciting thing from many of our viewers' perspective is the gaming aspect that it can be configured with a 965M GPU.
Yeah, I don't know what is it going to be worth, but Microsoft did put some effort in taking the whole keyboard portion and re-engineering the cooling solution that they came up with the first one. So I hope the GPU can be as cool as possible, will not be the infernos in this keyboard. So hope and see crossed
Cross fingers, yeah.
cross fingers because this is going maybe to be my next buy.
Well, what I would like to see, for them to sell the standalone bases so that you can just use our screen on top of that.
Yeah, honestly, this will be great because they will sell a lot of those things. I a little comparison. You can have the entry model Surface Book with i5 8 gigs, and suddenly you came with the performance base, and boom, you have a 965M graphic card, which could be great. But if they do that, they obviously will sell a lot less of premium units because they force people to go for the i7 and
No, I don't know. I think they'd probably end up selling more units, and the benefit also is that you'll end up having an extra battery in a sense, because you'll still have your original keyboard with the battery, so you'll have like a spare battery to take, which is perfect.
the extra battery actually is really very sweet because they, as they say, they did something really simple. They put in more battery, and 12 hours of battery life for me is a full day of mixed usage. So I couldn't wish for more if the Surface Book, the new Surface Book, do that.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Well, I think it's exciting. It's an exciting time to get one. Thank you very much for your input, Kat Sashi, and we'll look forward to seeing you on YouTube next.
Hope so.
All right, well, thank you for your time there. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview as much as I did. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe.